I played the yearly Rapid Arena in 2019. Wow.
I'm only about 4 hours late.
4 hours late. So that was an 8 hour tournament. This is also an 8 hour tournament. This time I'm only 2.5 hours late. I feel like I'm improving. Maybe in a few years I'll be on time. Let's see this poll. Wow. 58%, 42%. Zen mode it is. Okay, I'm joining. Welcome to more people. If this goes on YouTube in the future, I'll be timestamping every game. So feel free to let me know what your favorite game is, assuming I play more than one game. Am I going to play root chess? We played in Abu Dhabi, actually. We had a really hard-fought game there. But it takes a moment for the... Oh, okay, I don't know who I'm playing. I could be playing root chess. I could be playing, like, a beginner. I could be playing Magnus Carlsen. I have no idea. E4? I'll play E4. Oh, thank you, Peter Holland. Appreciate that. Okay, we have a Pirc. Against the Pirc, I might actually transpose into the line where I play bishop f4. Okay, this is actually a modern, so it's a little bit different. Black hasn't committed to knight f6. And against this move order, I like to play knight f3, expecting bishop g7. Oh, that's an interesting move order. Because normally I like to play bishop c4, queen e2. But the knight coming to f6 kind of provokes knight c3. I could play the setup with bishop d3. I'll play bishop d3. This is a more solid setup. Welcome back to Sifandrius, Max Tori, and Flads.
Hi Eric, duck-free stream?
Yeah, this stream could very well be duck-free. Time to castle. So the point of the bishop on d3 is I defend the pawn with the bishop, so I don't have to play knight c3. And in this setup, I play pawn c3. And I get the pawn chain against the fianchettoed bishop, which generally is a good thing, just to undermine the bishop. And then very often the knight will go to d2, maybe in maneuver to f1, and someday enter the game. And bishop g4 is respectable. Yeah, I'll play knight d2. I'm essentially preparing h3, because in the event of takes, I want to take back with knight. I might also want to bring the queen
More
out.
than 900 days of amazing content. I have a request, Eric.
Ooh.
If possible, can you play with the Amazon piece?
The Amazon
Not
piece.
sure if there is a
Wait, what is
San Juan
that?
chess equivalent that lets you play with it.
Please elaborate. I don't
Love
think
your
I've heard of the
content.
Amazon piece. Oh, I love your username. I'm a cup of tea. Actually, I just made tea. It's some nice oolong. It's oolong tea that a friend gave to me. So knight f4 is one intention. So I'll start with rook e1.
Let's go, Eric. First place.
Let's go. So Zen mode hides the standings, so I don't know what first place has. But, I mean, this is my first game of the tournament. I late joined a few hours late, so I'm probably far behind first place currently. Actually tied for last place. Okay, so f5 is the first sign that my opponent is not Magnus Carlsen. Because I have queen b3, and I think I'm winning a pawn. I mean, up until maybe knight h5, it could have been Magnus.
Amazon equals queen plus knight.
Oh, the quite. Oh, then maybe you didn't see my stream yesterday. I played jumbo chess with like so many new pieces, including a camel and the Canuck, and I mean there are so many others, but at some point I'll get back to the variants. I'm trying to keep a balance between all the fun new variants that are popping up and just classic normal chess. Because classic normal chess is also fun, especially when you get positions like this. No mercy now.
13 months, poggers good luck, Eric.
Thank you, a random oven. And Mr. Swift Tickle.
Do you have a recommended brand of tea for those of us coffee folk who have only ever drank
Oh.
cheap tea boiled in a hole in the ground?
Cheap tea boiled in a hole in the ground. Oh dear. Whoa, where do you even find that? There's actually a new tea brand I was introduced to recently. I've been super impressed with. A friend of mine gave me a gift of one of their most popular teas. It was like a Japanese sencha tea, imported from Japan. And I can share the website if I can find it. It's called Uproots Tea. And they don't have like too many options, but as far as I can tell, like the options that they do have are super high quality. It's all loose leaf. They sell like strainers too.
Happy
And
birthday
I'm probably
or
going to order
something
more
like.
from them.
Oh no, Mike Whack.
Oh, thank you, Mapper. Happy 1 year. I'm not sure what elo to guess in this game. I mean, my opponent really just made, okay, maybe a couple mistakes, like f5 and rook f7. So I'd probably say below 1500. But probably in the range of like 13 to 1700. Okay, I was debating how to capture the rook or whether, I mean, there were so many ways to win. The bishop was getting trapped. Let's say 1401. Let's see. 853. 853. I was taking the opening so seriously too. Like this opening Magnus Carlsen could easily play. Just a modern bishop g4 makes sense too before I play h3. Oh, that's kind of funny. Analysis. I mean, yeah, this was actually following like Carlsen games. C3. We were following Aroni and Carlsen. Knight h5. Still played by a couple masters. But then f5, yeah.
Lol.
Generally, this pawn should... You should be very careful moving this pawn if you're castled. Even if you're not castled, like that pawn, it's a risky pawn to move. And this diagonal is clearly exploitable. So I think more often black should go for like knight d7, e5. And then if I play d5, then f5 is more justified. Anyway, back to tournament. Zen mode will stay on. So I have 2 tournament points. The leader has 65. So I have some work to do.
Levy got a coffee sponsorship with his own flavor. Any chance you might get a tea sponsorship like that in the future?
Maybe. I'm in touch with the founder of this website. I haven't like really talked in detail, but it would be cool to have some sort of partnership with Uproots Tea. But I'm super selective when it comes to working with various brands, and I want to make sure they're quality products that I would use myself. Okay. I can't believe my opponent was 853 that last game. So I was 600 points off. Okay, this game, my opponent could be Beth Harmon, playing a Queen's Gambit. Oh, Bishop G5. I think I'll go for a Cambridge Springs. It's an opening that has been in my arsenal over the years. I actually don't play it too often online these days, but I think it's a very simple opening to learn, especially if you're looking for a response to like mainline Queen's Gambit. Now, with this move, my opponent's actually preventing Cambridge Springs, because usually if the pawns were still here, then Queen A5 would be the idea, and there'd be pressure against the bishop. This position, Queen A5, I don't think is as effective, because this pawn is not removing itself from the fifth rank. So I basically have to just go for the standard plans of a Carlsbad structure. And this is essentially a Queen's Gambit exchange variation. So rook e8. My usual go-to plan is knight f8, knight g6. And this is just the first step of the plan. The next step after knight g6 will be to play this and then h6. And then provoke the trade of bishop for knight. Will you be coming to India sometime? I wanted to go to India during Olympiad a few months ago, but it was just too complicated. I'm sure I'll make it to India someday. I mean, hopefully within the next maybe 5 years. So more often, at least when I play strong players in this line, the rook goes to b1 to support the minority attack with b4, b5. Here white is going for something I don't think I've ever seen before, pawn h4. It's interesting. I mean, this is not really a threat. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to deal with this. Because the usual move, bishop d6, runs into h5, so then the knight is pinned. I mean, I could play bishop g4, because there's no h3. But bishop g4, I'm not sure about knight d2 and then f3. There's also this move, which is interesting. If I play knight h5, I'm essentially provoking the trade. So bishop takes e7, queen e7, and then g3 would be expected. And then I'm wondering if there's any potential sacrifice. Like knight g3, f g3, queen e3. But then queen f2 hangs a bishop. King g2. That seems close. I mean, there's a lot of attacking potential. Knight h5 takes g3. I have bishop h3 immediately. I have bishop g4. Well, bishop g4, knight d2, knight g3. So bishop g4, knight d2, knight g3, f g3 takes. And then the queen is cut off. But then king g2. King g2, can I sack the knight again? Pawn takes. Queen h3. King g1, rook e3, hitting the bishop and threatening rook g3. I'm just going into probably some unnecessary deep lines. It seems like there's a lot of potential. I'm not seeing like a crystal clear knockout blow, but looks like there should be a lot of concerns for white. And this h4 move, it did reinforce the bishop, but it kind of softens the king side. And I think it makes sense to try and organize some attack. Yeah, so now I'm threatening this pawn, although maybe we could trade h-pawns. Maybe not. Okay, yeah, so I was looking at bishop g4. It's so tempting to sack here. I think I'll start with bishop g4. I'm just realizing there's bishop e2, though. And then I sack. I mean, bishop e2 is already some success. Make the bishop more passive. It's hard to gauge my opponent's rating. Like, I would think below 2200 because of this h4 move. But apart from that, white's been playing very naturally. Bishop e2 makes sense. I really want to take on g3. I mean, this position maybe just calls for more gradual, patient play. Like queen f6. Kind of like this move. The problem is queen f6, knight d2, we trade. I have a feeling at some point I'm going to sack a piece somewhere. Okay, building up pressure. Downside of this move is now this knight is a bit more stuck. Can't easily return to f6. Queen d1, okay. And queen f5. Opponent's playing quickly. I gotta just up the tempo. And queen f5. Just so the knight can come back. Okay, so now the bishop and queen are tied down to the knight. I mean, there's a lot of tension with the diagonal. And if the knight moves, then the tension will be relieved. Like knight d2, we trade. A knight could take. I'm fantasizing about like rook lifting and sacking and mating. Still very far away, though. Rook e1. Yeah, I think I should just move it back. The only reason for the knight to be on h5 was to sack, and I don't think that was so realistic. It's better to have access to the square. This does open up the queen. Maybe come and create a battery. I mean, white is clearly a little bit passive here. And the strategy for white is probably to trade, but I mean, to trade, you basically have to retreat the knight. Which we see. Okay, I have to take. Yeah, it feels a little bit better for black, but probably still takes a lot of work. And white is relatively solid. Like this knight's restricted. Any knight move into white's territory just gets captured pretty much. Like knight e4 is an option. We trade. I think I'm better off just gradually improving the rooks. Waiting for some opportunity. just have to play quicker too. Yeah, so far I'd probably guess between 2000 and 2200. Could be higher though. I mean, it could be like 2300. It could also be lower. I think my opponent's rating is anywhere between like 1600 to 2300. Just a lot of natural moves from white. I mean, no obvious blunders. Queen h3 now. I mean, if white's not careful, this could go really wrong really quickly for white. Especially with the queen here. But to be honest, I don't see if I even have a threat. Like, I want to play this, but I don't want to trade. Maybe like a plan long term of like g5 could be something. Maybe the rook should be on e6. Okay, white wants to play this. So now it's a question, can I get away with this? Which I think I can. It kind of looks weird because I'm trapping my own queen. But knight g5 allows queen h2. Yeah, white's just going for this move. I really want to play this. Because knight can't take because I mate. If pawn takes, and then rook, could that work? Wait, so takes, rook e6. That's crazy if it works. I mean, queen f1 doesn't work. Like, white's just kind of tied down. How does white get out of that? And threatening rook g6. I think I'm going to try it. I might just be completely over pushing. But I don't see how white untangles. It feels slow. Like, my plan is this, and then move the knight somewhere. So white's going to have two moves to try and defend. Now, of course, if knight takes, I was made in two. But the key issue for white is that the queen is tied down to the knight, and the knight is tied down to h2. And the king has no moves. So I don't see what white does here. The opponent has some time to think. Yeah, this allows me to win back the knight. Okay, so that was a success. I sacked a piece temporarily, but I won a pawn in the process. And now I still have an attack. How to maximize this? Rook h6. Queen g2. I'm thinking queen f5. I don't want a queen trade. I just want to keep queens on the board and eventually mate. Good move. Play this. Now I'm up 2 pawns. Yeah, actually, I really haven't been looking at chat for the last few minutes, so apologies if I'm ignoring anyone, but sometimes I'll get very invested in these games. Let's play this. Idea rook f2. And still plenty of time. There's no increment, but yeah, white is about to lose more material. I'm going to win f2 or the queen or both. Do I want to take? I guess I do. Okay. Now it's time to play blitz and take more free stuff. I'm guessing like 2100. Because my opponent like managed the time very well, played very quickly, and I think the mistake from white was not obvious this game. Let's see. 1702. Wow, I overguessed. Man, I've been overguessing a lot. At least I was only 400 points off, rather than 600 points. Yeah, it was a good quality game though. Because what was a mistake from white? I think maybe queen c2 was a bit wrong, just allowing my queen to infiltrate. Knight f3 was also wrong. And queen e2. And knight h4? Yeah, knight h4 was a cool tactical idea. It's the only winning move for black. And I have to play it right away because otherwise I'd give time for white to play queen f1.
Hey Eric.
Hey, R. Beasley. Welcome back. Thanks for subbing. Yeah, so if you're just joining, that was my second game of the yearly Rapid Arena. I have a feeling I'm going to play a lot of games this stream. And I've decided before the tournament that every game I will play in Zen mode, so I won't know my opponent's ratings. And it's kind of like live guess elo. I've really been over guessing. But I think my opponents thus far have played better than their actual strength. Okay. I mean, maybe I'll play a little bit more aggressively. Yeah, we have a Philidor. I'll play a just the main line. Yeah, there's a few different setups you can go for here. I'll start with bishop c4. It's very natural. Just castle quickly. I'm pretty sure a4, if not played here, it's played at some point. There's also bishop b3. I think I'll play bishop b3. There's ideas for black to storm. Although maybe a4 makes sense, gain space. I'll play a4. It gives the bishop some room to retreat. And there's ideas of a5. Not sure if a6 accomplishes that much. Because b5 is still off limits because I take and there's a pin. Just debating how to proceed here. There's a question what setup I want. The bishop. Could throw in a5, play like f3, bishop e3. I know there's some idea like b6, bishop b7. So maybe... I should really not overthink this. There's also h3, bishop e3. And that way I discourage knight g4. With bishop e3 right away, there's knight g4, which is sometimes annoying. And there's probably a lot of acceptable moves. I think the key is not to overthink and just to like play a solid setup. Yeah, bishop b3. Now it's actually really nice that the square is off limits because f4 will come and attack the knight. And if there's no knight g4, then the knight might have to go back to g6. And then there's some plan of pawn storming. Also some idea knight f5. Ooh. Okay, it was very good that I played a4, because otherwise, if my pawn was still here, my bishop would be getting trapped. Now it's a question, do I want to play knight f5, allow the trade, allow c4, bishop a2... That's kind of annoying. I could also just play this move. I like this move a little bit better. There's one thing to understand about this position is white has a little bit more space. Because I have the more advanced center pawn. So I probably don't want to allow trades of minor pieces. And especially with c4 coming, I'll be ready to play f4. I'm actually not sure if c4 is like even that great for black. Because c4, bishop a2, and then f4 is already a threat. I'm spending a little bit of time in the opening, but I think it's worth it to ensure I'm not making any careless mistakes. Have a clear plan. Another reason why I played h3 earlier and not f3 was because of this exact idea. Very often it's nice for white to gain space. So bishop e6. Yeah, now I have a decision because I could trade. I could also play f4 immediately. F4 immediately, and then if takes, I take the knight. Yeah, let's play f4. There's knight c4. Hitting the bishop and the pawn. Which maybe I should have been aware of. Yeah, I'm sorry. I see the duck emotes in chat. Duck chess will have to wait until maybe a little bit later. But I'm hoping that people still appreciate normal chess. The goal is to still be instructional, teach a thing or two. And hopefully when I do end up playing duck chess, people will appreciate it a little bit more. I can't just do it all the time and spoil everyone. Look at all these ducky emotes. If you're watching on YouTube, this is what you're missing in Twitch chat. Okay, I'm up on time. Opponent has a decision to make. There's a few possible knight moves. I mean, one calculation is knight c4, bishop c1. And then it's kind of weird. Knight c6 is normal. So I could take. There's cases where I don't mind the trade and double b pawns. But I think I'm better off taking. Actually, if I take, then black's already preparing d5. If I don't take, then this move can come. I have an interesting idea here to play f5. It looks very anti-positional, but it's kind of a mix of Following principles and disobeying principles. Let's play f5. I'll try and explain this move. Yeah, let's not run. I should explain. We have to cancel this prediction though. It's too easy just to cheat and see the rating of my opponent. So I don't want to have people like cheat and just steal channel points. I don't know how to cancel the prediction though. Maybe some mod knows how. Yeah, unfortunately, we can't really do predictions for live guest elo. Cancel. I'm sure most people follow the honor system, but what to do? I would probably be very bad at predicting. I've been so off today. I appreciate the effort though. I guess we could run a poll. With running a poll, then there's nothing on the line, and then we get some like honest feedback. I mean, so far my opponent's rating, I feel like is like above 1800. I'm gonna play g4. I should elaborate on what I was saying earlier, because with this f5 move, it's following principles in the sense that because I have a dark square bishop, my pawns should be on light squares. And that way I maximize just the number of squares I control. The downside of f5 is I leave this pawn backwards. I really weaken the square. And the knight didn't choose to go here. But this pawn could be a target on the half-open file. I'm debating between this and this. I like knight g3, reinforcing the pawn.
Hey Eric, when are you back in Germany? Want to show you a losing opening.
Ooh. Yeah, I've been to Germany a few times in my life, but I don't know the next time I'll be back. I mean, hopefully sometime in 2023. I know there's a pretty large chess scene there. Now I guess I have incentive to visit too, to see what this magical losing opening is. Okay, so my pawns are kind of stuck. You just queen d2, idea g5. Yeah, the square is in box control. Yeah, I gotta move faster. I get away with g5 right away. I think it's okay. h4 can follow. It's getting sharp. I mean, now there's looming ideas of f6. I have to be really careful about the fork potential. It's so important that this rook is guarding f3. Knight d3, it looks scary, but I think it's harmless. It's like a Halloween decoration. Yeah, there's a lot of attacking ideas for white. I mean, with the potential pawn breaks, the square. There's even some rook lift. Probably not likely. Also knight h5. Also realizing the queen can kind of slide over to g2 and then align with the king. And then maybe there's potential for knight h5, knight f6, or knight h5, pawn f6. Like Black's found 2 outpost squares for the knights. But for the time being, they're basically Halloween decorations. f6 is interesting, so that prevents me from playing f6. It gives me some options. I think I'll play h4 to reinforce. And now this diagonal's open. Not so easy to exploit, though. Thank you, Potato Man. Converting from Prime to Tier 1. Appreciate that. I really haven't given like a specific guess of my opponent's elo. I've been over guessing a lot. I really think my opponent's over 2,000. And clear like positional understanding and handled the opening well. Okay, question how to attack. Maybe bishop f4? There's 95. Actually, I kind of like king g2. Because now this file's half open. The king is now on a square where it can't get forked. The knight can't fork king and queen. And the prospect, I mean, it might be a slow plan, but the prospect of doubling up on the h file could be very nice. Because this pawn doesn't have too many defenders apart from the king. Up over a minute now. Yeah, it's just hard for Black to find a move. Like the pieces are kind of stuck and there's not a clear plan. And positions like this are like, it's very easy to just blunder as Black. Like trying to search for something. I'm actually liking the fact that this plan is slow because like the next 3 or 4 moves for Black are really not so clear. I might just be winning this game on time. It's interesting that it's like it's equal material. Seems like a tense position, but yeah, I'm about to win like pretty easily, I think. Hopefully I don't jinx myself. Let's improve the bishop. Rook h4 on the horizon. I'm curious what the engine would give. Like in this position or maybe a few moves ago. Yeah, f6 traps the bishop. Okay, I'm guessing 2020, how about? Opponent's rating. I think this works actually. Rook f2, I take it. Let's see. 1735. Opponent played well. I mean, it just was kind of slow towards the end there. I think my guesses have been getting closer every game. Oh, is 2020 a bad year? It was a decent year for chess content. Hindsight 1735. Yeah.
Good luck in the tournament, Eric.
Oh, thank you, Pillow Vatan. Thank you, Ordinary Otter. Do otters quack?
Hello, Eric. Also, quack.
I guess they do. Okay, real quick. Analysis board. How good was the position? Engine saying Engine saying I'm worse here. Wow. Oh, d5. It's not an easy move to play because it allows e5. But I guess the point is pawn d4. There's some counterplay for black. Because if here I take the knight, just bishop takes. And then, yeah, like already after g5, white's clearly better. King g2 is nice. Okay, nice game. Oh, there's a question from Tafaska. I analyzed knight f5 after knight d7. In this position. Oh, knight f5. Top engine move. That's probably good. Yeah, I guess knight f5, I'd probably imagine knight e5 or knight c5. I guess the point is to just get the bishop pair. Which I probably should have considered. It seems counterintuitive to trade off black's dark square bishop, which has no legal moves. But the point is that long term, the two bishops are really nice for white. Bishop e2, so restricting the knight, especially dark square bishop, can do some damage.
Remember back in the day where 4-player chess helped set a collab up between you, Agamata, Levy and Hikaru for a 4-player game?
I do.
He or another admin can help you out getting to learn the different variants and to maybe set up arenas. Your WDCC in making.
WDCC. World Duck. Oh, World Duck Chess Champion. Yeah, it'd be cool to get in touch with admins to to just find out how the variant tournaments work. It seems like they're somewhat scarce, but it would be cool to do like a viewer variant tournament or viewer duck tournament. Can we have some unofficial or official World Duck Championship? Okay. Again, I don't know my opponent. I gotta have at least one Stafford Gambit though, right? Let's go for a Stafford. I'm not the highest rated player in duck chess. There's a few people above me. I think I'm still probably top 5. Okay, Stafford Gambit time. Oh, opponent played that quickly. Opponent's playing really quickly. I'm playing quickly too, because this is still theory for me.
Hey Eric. Greetings from Newfoundland.
Oh, greetings from St. Louis. Thank you, Scooby-Doo. Okay, hitting the pawn on e3. It's good to see my opponent taking more time here. There's not too many ways to defend the pawn. I've shown this probably a handful of times, like this exact position in various Stafford Gambit videos. The most popular move is King D2, one of the only ways to defend the pawn. Knight D2, I don't know if I've ever encountered before. And that looks like a really risky move for white. I have this move, which I think I'll play on bishop G4 on the horizon. And the beauty of the knight here is it prevents white from castling. Except I'd probably be happy if white could castle, because then bishop G4. Okay, rook C1 was expected. Yeah, bishop G4 actually runs into queen G3. Not sure if I'm winning anything here. I mean, I've won the pawn back, so it's already some opening success. I think I might just take the bishop and play this. It looks weird to trade off my Giga Knight for this sad F1 bishop, but the Giga Knight could become stuck just a little bit. I'm number 4 in duck chess. Ooh. I'll have to grind the duck chess later. I shouldn't overthink this. I think I'll take. I could play bishop. Let's spend one moment on bishop e6. Because h4, and then queen c5, and then knight b3. And queen b6, and then bishop e2. I could also take on c2 in some lines. This is just simpler. Now because both rooks have moved, white cannot castle. Maybe white can fake castle, if I can draw arrows. But I'm very, very much ready to real castle. Thank you, Super Robot Axe. Okay, opponent taking time. This pawn looks hanging, but it's kind of poisonous. Okay, now it's definitely not hanging. Castling queenside is still illegal because the rook has moved.
Hey Eric, I'm loving the polo. Looks amazing.
Shout out to Lululemon. Maybe someday they'll sponsor me. Welcome back to Damien. Okay, I want to attack another pawn. I think I'll play queen e5. Because if white plays c3, then I can play c5. And essentially create a weakness on d3. This pawn is actually really annoying to defend. Yeah, so c3 was one of the only moves. And now this pawn is basically backwards. It's not defended by its own pawn, and it's on the half-open file. Very simple plan of making a battery. Maybe eventually making a gun, if I can triple up. It's hard for white to remove the queen. Knight c4, I just take it. Queen f4, I take and then win d3. There's a question. Eric, are you going to play the World Chess Championship 2023 against Nepo? I don't think so. Unless Ding declines his invitation. And then a lot of other players would have to decline for me to be the next in line. So I'd say it's pretty unlikely. But maybe I'll be a photographer. I was a photographer for the last World Championship match. Okay, preparing the double up. Maybe preparing the rook lift. Oh no, I got forked. Okay, I have to take. Okay, at this point, I'm guessing below 2,000. Because knight c4, I think, was played a little bit too quickly there. Maybe it was a fine move. Yeah, this still takes a lot of work to win. I'm realizing queen f5 is coming. A lot of lines. There's a funny line. Not sure if it works though. Calculating rook e6. So if queen takes, it's mate. Oh no, it's not mate. Almost mate. King d2, queen e3, king c2. I mean, the obvious move is to take. And then king takes.
Smack him with your rook.
I'm trying. I smacked, but he smacked back. Or she. I have no idea who my opponent is. I'll play rook d8. The smack attack is beginning. Yeah, I was calculating. I don't know. Getting low on time. My opponent could be over 2,000. Resilient defense. Yeah, I think rook d7 makes sense here. I mean, the structure favors white. Rook d1 played very quickly. If I take... Yeah, I don't want to trade the queens, though. I have this move. I mean, queen f5 is possible. I think the resulting rook ending should be still a little bit better for black. Okay, rook e6. I'm paranoid that I'm missing something, but I'm not getting mated. The queen can't move here. If queen h4, I'd win the pawn and trade queens. Queen also defends g7. Rook d5 is possible. But then after takes, I check and then takes. And if rook e1, I play f5. And then the e-pawn's pinned. I had to guess right now, I'd probably say like 1850. It could be higher, but there are a few moves that I don't think like higher rated players would play. Like that knight d2 move in the opening, and knight c4 played really quickly. But it's still not an easy game. Now he's in queen h4. Queen h4, h6. I just blundered. Oh, that was a terrible move. This complete blind spot. Wow, okay. Oh, we both made really bad moves back to back. I mean, if this were guess elo and someone was trying to guess my rating, I probably played like sub 2000. White could have taken with a pawn there.
I hope you got my academic paper.
Oh, I don't think I did. Unless you emailed it and it went to spam. Okay, I'll explain what happened after this game. I don't know if I can. I'm gonna have to like cut my guess a little bit. Opponent can't be 1850. It has to be like 17, maybe 1600. But White really survived well. Hey, it's Lile. Thank you, Lile. Welcome to the stream. If you're just joining, I was playing in Zen mode. I'm trying to guess my opponent's elo. Yeah, I'm guessing maybe 1720. Let's see. 1778. Okay. That was my best guess so far. Let's go. Yeah, that was not my proudest moment, and probably not my opponent's proudest moment. So this was a really bad move because White can take with a pawn. And for some reason I thought like I just win the rook. But after I win the rook, I lose my rook. And then I'm just down a pawn. And this move is coming, and this is probably just losing for black. Yeah, I could have easily been lost. Instead, my opponent took with the wrong thing, and then I won the rook. If we go back, yeah, there's a cool trap here that a lot of players will walk into. Actually, the most common line in the database, if White plays king d2, really cool move, knight h2. And most people take, not realizing what's coming, queen e5, guaranteed to win one of the white rooks in this position. Yeah, the shift key is next to the caps lock key, so sometimes I'll accidentally enable caps lock when trying to make a red arrow or circle. Okay, I'm going to take a small break, and then I'll be back momentarily. Let me just pause the arena. Pause. We'll watch the top game. Put on some pentatonic. And BRB. Okay. Let's rejoin. Zen mode is staying on. We have 4 hours and about 18 minutes left. Hey, I'm top 1,000. 12 tournament points. Leader has 86. And Zen mode continues. Oh, should I turn off pentatonic? I can't turn off pentatonic without... Let's play c5 here. Without disabling Zen mode. I guess I could switch tabs though. Sound. Okay. Wait, what? Refresh? Okay. Okay, we have a prediction. Yeah, earlier I said no predictions, but I guess we have the prediction whether I'll guess correctly. Does this one make sense? Yeah, and I'll base my prediction off the... Can I play this move immediately? I think I can. Off purely the game and not whatever people say in chat.
Hey Eric, long time listener, first time caller. What is the best tea?
Oh. I actually I was sharing a new tea company I discovered recently. Earlier in the stream. Shout out to uprootstea.com. Maybe I'll leave a link in chat. A friend gifted me the sencha tea from them, and it was really good. And they're a pretty small company, but they work like directly with farmers in Asia to produce like really high quality teas. So I'm gonna order more from them in the very near future. Today I'm actually drinking, I'm not sure where the tea came from, but it was another gift from a friend. It's some kind of oolong tea from Europe. Play bishop f5. Maybe my bishop should have gone to f5 in the first place. I'm definitely not playing like a super grandmaster. Because white usually, like if it's a successful London opening, white usually doesn't need to play b3. Bishop d3. Okay, we'll leave some tension. I think these moves are probably going to be my next moves. Just very simple development. No need to go too crazy. So it might depend if white disturbs me in some way. Like if castling, then I just continue with my normal plan. If 95, or if this, and I have to do something a little bit different. I mean, I'm happy to see this move because now I have 2 center pawns and I control a bit more space in the center. Okay, bishop e7. Yeah, this kind of looks like a reverse semi-Slav. Like the idea would be to play a4 and c4 or a3 c4, but it's a little bit slow for white. Yeah, there's no duck in this game, thankfully. If there was a duck, my opponent could play b4 and duck d6, trapping my bishop. It's been difficult to like switch between duck chess and normal chess. But I guess that's part of the skill of I guess being a streamer and playing different variants is to switch between different types of chess and acclimate quickly. So I'm still threatening to take. I think my opponent's just gifting me the pawn, which makes me believe that my opponent is probably rated less than, definitely less than 1600, maybe less. Could be around 1600. I mean, London is a very common beginner's opening, and it's also common like strong player opening. I've played a lot of viewers who play London, so I'm trying to gauge like from past experience. Probably say in the range of like 1200 to 1700. It's kind of a wide range, but we'll see how the game progresses. I'm very tempted to leave my knight here. White's not actually threatening to take it. Yeah, let's continue some initiative. Thank you, Van Zwan, or Van Zwan. Happy 7 months. Okay, I'm probably guessing on the lower end of this rating spectrum. I've overguessed so much today. I'm probably guessing like 1200. Let's see. Maybe 1250. 1250. Let's see. 1387. Okay. I underguessed, but not by too much. Thanks for the game, Zambodi. Oh, another game started. Okay. I mean, what to do? Oh, I don't have Zen mode turned on. Okay, so I know my opponent's rating.
Great to catch you, Live Eric. Love your content.
Oh, I love you too, Jazzarine. Okay, I'm playing one game with Zen mode off because, yeah. Wait, what's happening? We don't need to run a prediction. Yeah, let's not overdo it here. Okay. I don't know what I did though. Okay, I'm just gonna focus on the game. We have a Ponziani. D6 is a move. Against D6, I actually like to play the move H3. And the idea is, oh no, my pawn. The other idea is that, yeah, this bishop has a hard time developing. Bishop G4 no longer possible. And then bishop E6 runs into the fork. I should also mention, if the knight were to take, I would have D5 knight moves and then queen A4 winning the other knight. But here I should defend the pawn. Bishop D3. It's already a very pleasant position. Question from True Beerus. Have you ever made a video on your worst OTB blunder? I have.
Which chess streamer do you think provides the most educational content?
That's a tough question. It's hard to single out one streamer specifically. These days there's just so many streamers teaching in their own styles. So yeah, that's really hard to say. I guess, like, I'd have to give a shout out to St. Louis Chess Club. Because they probably are live more than most channels every week, every month, doing 5 to 6 hours of commentary a day of like top level tournaments. Play I mean bishop g5 h6. It's kind of a I don't know if I want to. Now I'm calculating bishop g5 h6 takes and knight d5, forcing queen d8.
I've learned so much from you, thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Too Manykins. I don't think I want to play bishop g5 because it's not my intention to trade.
Hi Eric. Glad to finally catch your stream. Love your vids.
Oh, nice catch, you crispy criminal. Yeah, going back to the question from Truebeerus, the video on YouTube, it's named something like my worst move or my worst blunder. It did involve oh no my queen, but not in like the tricky fun way that I'm used to. Maybe at some point, like between games, I can share that moment. Yeah, so the point of playing bishop e3 and then preparing queen d2 is now h6 is no longer possible. And I can play bishop g5 safely without needing to worry about the bishop getting kicked around. That's a good sign. Although, okay, I don't have knight d5. I think I'll just play rook c1. X-ray vision against the queen. Generally, it's good to align your rook with opponent's queen. Also good to put the rook on a half-open file. a6. That's probably a sign that black doesn't quite know what to do. I'm just kind of waiting. I'm thinking about queen f4, but then knight h5. So I'm wondering about g4, but then pawn h5.
Quack.
Welcome back to all the ducks. And b5 might be coming. Okay, I'm going to play a3. I want to see what black's plan is. Because the best strategy might just be to wait. And yeah, basically waiting for black to self-destruct. Because now the knight is less defended. I'm not sure if I can punish that, though. But there's knight... I mean... Take some knight d5. Leaning towards bishop b1. Getting out of the way of the queen. Also looking to maneuver to align with the king. Yeah, rooks like to be aligned with the opponent's queen. Bishops like to align with opponent's king, if possible. Yeah, I think bishop a2. It does allow knight c4. Black was threatening knight b3, so I didn't really have time for tactics there.
Rosen ducky, Rosen ducky, Rosen ducky, Rosen ducky.
Oh, thank you, Skerber. It's a lot of duggies. Okay, I think finally the tactics are about to happen. I just realized too, did I just have Queen F4 this whole... No, I didn't. Queen F4 is now a threat because F7 is vulnerable. Yeah, it looks like there's a few ways to just be crushing here. The first thing that came to mind is takes knight here, hitting the bishop and pawn, and bishop d8 runs into the pork, the pin plus the fork. I mean, there's also Queen F4 looks nice. I think this is just more concrete though. And this cleanly wins material. Yeah, this knight is monstrous. And there's 3 like pretty big threats here. Yeah, there's no Rosen trophies in duck chess just yet. Actually, Rosen trophies only, I think the site only scans Lee chess games. I don't know if I've had any Rosen trophies today. I don't think the pork is a real Rosen trophy. But it's still very satisfying. Wait, do I even need to... I mean, knight b6 is fancy, but this is also just straightforward. This is also just winning. What's the simplest? It's like, do I choose the ice cream, the cake, the cookies? I want to eat everything. But it's important not to play with my food. Ooh, I didn't see that move. So queen g4 may be coming. Wow. I think I'll play this move. Just leaving everything hanging. I refuse to capture the bishop. I refuse to capture either rook. I insist on attacking more things. So now f7, the bishop and both rooks are hanging. And there's discovery potential. That looks pretty good. And what I might end up doing is like take this and then fork, or take first to fork. Oh, is there some smothered oh no my queen checkmate? Also, welcome back to Z Nation. The founder of the channel. The only 5-year subscriber. Need to make a special badge for you. Oh, we need a pork emote. Yeah, that's a nice suggestion. Not sure how kosher that would be, though. Okay, so I could take the bishop. I'll take the bishop. Leaving the rook's fort. Yeah, if this were guess the elo, I'd probably underguess a little bit. I guess my opponent tried to play solidly in the opening and just kind of fell victim to the eventual tactics. Question from Hero of Hasting. Do you play Ponziani in classical OTB games? I used to. I didn't have a great result with it. But I played it against a handful of grandmasters actually over the board. And I think my score with it, I'm remembering 4 games I played with it, all against title players. I lost 3 of those games. But they weren't really due to the opening. Like, I think every time I played Ponziani, I got a fine position in the opening. I played against Sevian in 2015. I played it against Grandmaster Priesers from Netherlands in, I think it was 2017 or 2018. Also played against Grandmaster Philidor Kanapan 2015. That was many years ago. I played Ponziani OTB. The one game I won with it was actually against Gari. Grandmaster Gari. Who has the FM title. But I think out of all my opponents, he responded like the best to the Ponziani in the opening. But it was some like long endgame grind that I eventually won. Okay, let's just simplify. Wouldn't mind the queen trade. Also threatening this. Yeah, I really haven't done like the real guess elo. Maybe I've tried it like a few times. I don't think I ever made YouTube content out of it. I find it more enjoyable to like play a game not knowing the rating of the opponent. Kind of do live guess elo. Oh wow, avoiding the queen trade and preventing this. Okay, I can take. No mercy here. Hey, thank you, Ahadrez. That's a great Twitch username. Hola, mis amigos. I assume that's a Spanish-speaking channel. Yo sabe poco español. Pero mi español no mucho bueno. Bienvenido. Saludos. And also good game. Bueno partido. Okay, let me try and stop embarrassing myself. If you're just joining, I'm playing the yearly Rapid Arena. I just won a pretty nice game with Ponziani. Opponent got kind of passive. Yeah, d6 is not the most testing move. The main line is takes. d5 also playable. And h3 is a nifty move. And there's a nice trap here that a significant number of players fall for. If black takes the poison pawn, then d5, knight moves, and then queen a4, winning a knight. Let me switch this. So I've had this position twice on Lichess. There's a lot of different variations of the trap too. Like you could play bishop e3, bishop e3, and that's the same idea. Okay, let me re-enable Zen mode.
Hey Eric, thanks for the super chill vibes and content. Hope you win all the games.
Oh, thank you.
Oh no, my duck chess. Looking for quackmate in one.
Yeah, duck chess is taking a break. I know I could have pressed Z, but then sometimes I'll press Z multiple times and I'll forget if it's enabled or disabled, especially if it's between games. So for everyone just joining, I'm playing in Zen mode. I don't know my opponent's rating or name or standings or how much time is left in the tournament. Just have to focus on trying to play some good chess. And we have an English. I could be playing Levy. The very first game of my recent match with Levy featured this exact opening. And the point is I'm temporarily sacking a pawn. But it's hard for white to actually hold on to the pawn. Because this is a kind of a big threat. I think most common white plays d3. d4 also possible. Actually, d4 is one of the main lines. I remember when I was younger, I learned this line and I thought this was a move. Because if takes, there's a fork. The problem is queen a4 and then I'm actually the one getting forked. So bishop e7, still theory. Eventually I'll win back the pawn. I think it's time to take. If white had played queen b3 earlier, there's knight d3. But let's take. And this is actually a very positional structure. White has the isolated queen's pawn, IQP. But white does control a bit more space. So I'll have to develop. Kind of liking this move. I wouldn't mind more trades. Like if we trade everything on d5, then the pawn actually becomes weaker. And that's generally like a rule about these positions. The more trades that happen, the more weak the isolated pawn becomes. I think I'll play c3 or c6. It's so important to control the square right in front of the pawn. Yeah, there's some ideas like bishop f6, queen b6, bring the rook in. One long-term idea is to maneuver this knight, like even though it looks good on d5. Okay, I was going to say sometimes it's better to go to f5. Oh. I overlooked this. I can't take with queen. I wanted to take, but my bishop hangs. I mean, at least I can take with pawn. Oh, this is going to be really symmetrical, though. Yeah, the pawn structure is almost completely symmetrical. Main difference is that this pawn is advanced. Another difference to point out, though, I gotta defend both pawns, is because we have bishops of the same color, it's to my benefit that this pawn is on a dark square. So I have a slightly better bishop here. We'll see how meaningful it actually is. But I'm pretty sure black is slightly for choice. I'm not entirely sure how to approach this position. h5. If I want to win this, it's going to take a lot of patience. Probably going to take a blunder from my opponent.
Positive vibes through the internet.
Oh, I appreciate the positive vibes. Welcome back to Danger Cats. I was just looking at this move, queen g4, threatening this and this, but it hangs d5. So it might be better to play this, but that hangs b7. trying to figure out a way where I can like play rook c4, like b5 first. The more I'm looking at b5, the more sense it makes. It looks like I make just a big hole on c5, but the goal is to control c4. And I don't think rook c5 works because I can take, after it takes I play d4, hit the bishop and threaten this to eventually win the pawn. And it's a good sign that most of white's pawns are on dark squares. Most of my pawns are on light squares. Yeah, let's play rook c4 now. And it was a position that looked like really close to equal. But I think it's like clearly becoming better for black. I have to be careful not to overestimate things. But like rook c8 is an idea. Kind of like the prospect of a6. Just so that this pawn's over defended, my queen can mobilize. This rook is super solid. Okay, this pawn's attacked. Could play rook a4. Also thinking about this move. Wait, b4 also. b4 is just a fork. Almost missed this. Yeah, my opponent... Yeah, it's hard to guess their rating because they played like a really solid opening. Probably was close to equal at some point. Blundered this. I mean, I was close to overlooking it. I was so set on keeping my pawns on light squares. I mean, probably guess like 1900. Because English is a more sophisticated opening too. And blunders happen, especially at that rating level. Especially in rapid chess. Okay, I'm just trying to simplify. Or maybe I'm trying to checkmate. One or the other. If white trades queens, then we simplify. If white doesn't trade queens, then I'll try and checkmate. Yeah, so let's start with this. Rook e8 coming. Oh, thanks so much. Don't move until you see it. The 4 gifted. I'm actually trying to figure out how to checkmate here. It's like not so... It looks like it should be easy. Maybe starting with queen f3. So I'm threatening queen d1 with a triple fork. And bishop e3 I likely sacrifice. And then try and take every pawn with check. Is it necessary though? It's one approach. Maybe not the best technique, but because I am leaving white with outside passer. But I think eventually I'm going to have queen d1 check. But I'm going to try and win the other pawns first. There's a few spite checks. Oh, thanks for your words. Pause to reflect. Says, thank you for commenting on your decision process and reasoning while you play. Yeah, that's one of the goals, is to try and make this a more educational stream. It is nice to take a small break from duck chess and to try and share some insights into real chess. I'm debating whether to take this, but let's just keep checking. And king here, I'll take the pawn with check. Yeah. Oh, what rating to guess? Like 19. Let's say 1900. King E1. I might like keep shifting to the right. Would you trade a rook or a queen for a duck? It's hard to place value on the duck, because it's just so different than any other piece where like it can't be captured. And usually the duck is shared, so I don't know how it would work if the duck just belonged to me. But it's pretty powerful if it can't be captured and you can place it anywhere. Maybe I would trade a rook for a duck. Probably not a queen, though. So now I'm guaranteed to take this pawn with check. I might just end up winning all the pawns. And then white's going to try and get stalemated. If king here is actually mate in one. The game goes on. Okay, I think it's time to take. It might be hard to checkmate just with the queen defending along the b file. But there's so many ways to win this. A simple way might just be to force a queen trade. I'm actually threatening this maybe, and then this, and there's cases where I win the white queen. Yeah, no need to go crazy.
Queen defending along the b file.
Beef. Yeah, not vegetarian friendly. Welcome back, Stephen Gray. Okay, so this line I win the queen. This queen had a beef with the other queen. Okay, what did I say? 1900? Let's see, 1900. 2104. Wow. So, yeah, just overlooked a simple fork. But I think overall it was a nice positional game. Like the fact that it was nearly symmetrical pawn structure, and the main imbalance was the fact that this pawn is on a dark square. It allowed me to get some nice advantage and essentially provoked white to just kind of self-destruct.
You said beef.
Beef. Yeah, the TTS doesn't really accentuate that. Real quick, let me re-enable Zen mode analysis board, and we'll just see the opening, just to demonstrate. This is a line that's been played. I've played a handful of times before. Have a good score with. It's been played at top level too. Now, I'm pretty sure this line is just refuted, actually. Like, if white's really prepared with engine, this game between Ivanchuk and Fiddler, Ivanchuk just completely refuted this opening. And the move to play is knight f3, I believe. But it's risky to play because after knight d3, white loses castling rights, has to bong cloud. Error loading engine. Yeah, even Stockfish can't really figure out this position. But if you go deep enough, I'm pretty sure white's doing quite well. What was the forced mate after king a2? Oh, king a2 is dubious. Oh, mate in 6. Did the engine just break? It just broke. I wonder if that's because of my local reduce the CPUs? Maybe this is just the chess overlords trying to force me to find the mate in 6. I mean, I assume it's queen a1, king here, here, here. This is all forcing. We got to take the queen here, and then how many more moves do we have? And then here, and then here, and then here, and then here. That's 6. That's probably already 6 moves, though. Maybe we'll never know. Wait, refresh? I've never seen the engine break like this. Okay, so let's see the mate in 6. Queen b1. Take the queen. Take the pawn. Mate in 3 from this position? Really? There's only one mate in 3. Queen c4? King a3? Ah, queen b5. Nice. Forcing king a2 and then checkmate. Okay, let's move on. So far, I'm undefeated. I've had a nice variety of openings. Gradually working my way up. There's 3.5 hours left in this tournament. I'm not sure if I'll play the whole thing, but I'm trying to just have good quality games. Should I Zen mode Berserk? What do people think? Let's do a quick poll. Zen mode Berserk? Yes, no. I have not berserked yet this tournament. Wow, 19-1? 37, okay. I guess I'll berserk then. It's risky though, because I might be playing against a strong player. Oh, opponent berserking back. I wonder if my opponent's watching the stream. Okay. We're just playing a blitz game now. Okay. Interesting. Opponent has to be watching. It seems like they're just messing with me. What is this? And this could be a high-rated player, but it also could just be... What is this? What is this opening? There's no way I'm playing a strong player. Unless I'm playing Magnus and he's just trolling. This is something Magnus would maybe do. What is this opening? I've never seen this before. F7 is defended. Guess bishop e3. Look at this knight. Oh, it's so funny. How do I attack? Queen d3? I have such a large space advantage. I think I'll just castle. Do I want to trade? I don't think I want to trade. Opponent's playing so quickly. He's only used 8 seconds off the clock. But no mercy here. Black has violated so many opening principles. It's time to pay. Man, look at this hole. D6 is just an orifice in Black's home.
Looks like opponent is playing chess 960.
Ah. They despise normal chess so much. They have to turn it into chess 960. I take this? I think I'll just play this. Patient move. This could be a really strong player. This could also be a complete beginner who just is messing around. It's so hard to guess a rating, actually. But they're playing quickly, so they have to be like decently, like a decent player. Debating whether to take with pawn or I think I should take with knight. Look at this Giga Horsey. It's so majestic. I mean, queen g6. It's just full domination. Got a Giga Horsey, Giga Queen, Giga Pin. No mercy now. Oh no, my rook. Hey, you're just in time. Checkmate. Okay. That was a funny game. What do I guess the rating as? 8. I mean, opponent probably played like at the level of 1100, but the fact that they move so quickly and they seem so confident, I think I'll say like 1700. Let's see. Okay, 1626. Not a bad guess. I'm just curious of my opponent's accuracy of this game. Also, yeah, thanks again for the raid. The well-heeled king. 72% accuracy, but 108 centipalm loss.
Is that game going on?
Oh, on YouTube. Or this whole stream might go on YouTube. Shout out to everyone watching in the future on YouTube. If you've made it this far, leave a smiley face in the comments. Also like the video and subscribe. It helps me feed my family. Okay, top 240. Oh no, no longer top 240. Top 241. Yeah, Lichess recently introduced accuracy not too long ago. There is some article explaining how they calculate it, but I'll have to actually look at it because I'm not sure how it works. Okay, I'll berserk again because so many people wanted me to Zen mode berserk. Oh, opponent berserking back. So 2 double berserks in a row. I saw some offhand comment earlier asking for a Smith-Morra, so whoever was asking for that, I hope I'm putting a smile on your face. This is one of the main lines. Opponent seems prepared. I could be playing a strong player here. Like, this might be some theory. G5, really? I really want to play this move. It seems so reckless, but also so fun. I'm considering it. I'm trying to weigh the pros and cons. I'm going to do it. Oh no, my bishop. Now, usually a decision like this, I would take into account my opponent's rating. But I don't know what my opponent's rated. Against a stronger player, I probably wouldn't play this move. Against anyone less than like 1700, I'd probably play this move. I like the fact my opponent's thinking. I'm curious if like g5 was still opening prep from them. This is hard to explain, but the point is, whatever it takes, I take back with pawn. I can pre-move this. And then the file will open. There are lines where I lose a bishop. Wow. So I win back. Oh, I'm going to be down 2 pawns. That seems okay, though. I don't need to take the knight. I probably should take the knight. Okay, so what just happened? I'm down 2 pawns. But the opponent chose not to win the piece, which is kind of interesting. And now I am hitting the bishop. King is kind of stuck in the center. The center might be the safest place for the king, because both sides are kind of in shambles. Of course, there's this idea. But if rook g8, I'm in time to maybe play f3. Black is underdeveloped here. I mean, this is the only developed piece. These things have not moved yet. Okay, I still need to develop my rooks, but these pieces are in good position. Welcome back to Tio Twaki and CL Smith. Shout out to CL Smith. Has been streaming on YouTube recently. I wish there was a Twitch command to give a YouTube shout out. I take... Do people hear that? I have noise suppression. Do people hear that now? There's ambulances outside. But they're kind of in the distance. Anyway, I should focus. Getting so distracted. F3, bishop c5, king h1. There's some h3 idea. I don't want to take because... Wait, can I take? And then take on e6? Wow, that's a funny line. So take, take, take. Queen e7, queen h5. Take rook e1. And if takes, I take and hit the rook. I think that's okay. Someone call an ambulance. Actually, someone already called an ambulance, but it wasn't for me. Thankfully. Also, thank you, Awkward Knight. Yeah, so queen h5 is just a really nice resource here. Pinning the pawn, ensuring that the pawn can't take, and if the queen takes, I'm winning the queen. Surprising my opponents just allowed that. I'm still guessing over 2,000. But somehow this is working out really nicely. Hitting the rook and the pawn. Yeah, clean up on file H. Preventing rook d2. Well, rook d2, queen h7 also. Now, do I take on h4? I don't think there's a need. Just rook f1. I still have to move quickly. Realizing this is some resource. Yeah, the pawn's hanging, so rook h8 expected. H3? Rook f4 is the idea of this move. Hitting the bishop and rook. Rook c2, queen h7 forks. If rook c3, probably this move. Oh, that forks the king. For some reason, I didn't realize I was attacking the king. Okay, the opening speed and preparation was kind of impressive. So I'll guess like 2150. Let's see. 2250. Okay, 100 points off. Yeah, I mean this is one of like the main like reputable approaches to Smith-Morra, as far as I know. I wonder what Esserman plays against this. The engine says black's better. Oh, g5 maybe was still prep. I played knight d5 here, which is the second engine move, but considered a blunder. So first of all, if pawn takes bishop, there's smother mate. Not even smothered duck mate, just normal smothered mate. Opponent took, which is also good. Pawn takes is the best. I mean, I was going to be okay playing this position. Because already after pawn takes, knight takes. Oh, knight d4. Okay, so I guess I would take first. I was just envisioning the knight getting to d6 somehow. f7 also targets. Okay. Hey, we have a CL command. Thanks, Josh. Shout out to Josh, too. We also have a Josh command. I'm going to take another break. It's break time. Oh, no! Okay, I'm not taking a break. I'm playing another game. Do I berserk? I guess I'll berserk. Opponent's berserking too. Okay, it's turning into some blitz. I'll play a different line than what I played earlier, but it's kind of similar. Okay, maybe kind of different. Yeah, let's take... So this is a reverse Grand Prix attack. Normally an opening that you play as white against Sicilian, but this is basically reverse Sicilian. And it's a fun one for blitz, because the plans are very simple. There's some plan to attack. There's another plan to play very positionally on the queen side. I just blunder. Just allow this. I don't know what's happening after that move, actually. Queen a4, knight d4. Wow. This is a semi-bluff. d4 is a good sign, so I have time to make sure things are stable. There's some idea knight a5 and pawn c5. It was actually a very common positional plan in this opening. If I can fix double pawns as they are, it can be very unpleasant for white. And yeah, the problem with this position, which I've noticed for a lot of players from the white side, it can be very hard to find a clear plan. And for black, there's just so many ways to keep improving. Already, I think I'm winning a pawn. I'm not sure if I need to take it like so soon. Like rook goes back. If I take, there's queen b3, bishop e6, pawn d5. Oh, in that line, I do have knight d2. Okay, I have to take first. So now the file's open. We might see bishop d5 check. I don't mind trading bishops. I mean, if takes, then the queen and rook are both hanging. Rook's going to have to move away, and then I probably take the pawn. Now the bishop's no longer sufficiently defended. It's attacked twice and pinned. And white can get out of it, but then I hit the queen and I'll be threatening the fork. Oh, fancy move. So if I take, there's takes. I'm actually not sure if I want to take the queen here. It seems more fun to take the bishop. Because I'm still up a pawn. And on top of that, white's a little bit paralyzed. The queen and queen d6. I think I'm eventually winning material too. The pin is really, really nice for black. And what does white do? Rook b2 is probably a decent try, preventing queen d2. I mean, I could take the rook, but I don't know if I want to take the rook. Yeah, I'm going to go for the attack. The rook is still trapped anyway. I just want to play f3 and queen, basically f3 and queen g2 mate. Of course, I have to legally get to g2. I'm guessing the rating between like 18, maybe a little bit less than 1800. They berserked back though. Maybe around 1800. I mean, this game is one of those cases where an opponent kind of just stumbled into a really unpleasant position. This pawn is really nice. I could have played this and this, but I'm trying to create mating ideas. There's a funny threat of rook b2. Okay. I was still inclined to play rook b2 there. Okay, let's guess 1800. 1919. I feel like my guessing is getting better. Like the first few games I was off by so many hundreds of points. I was playing sponjabob.
Good luck, smile.
Oh, thank you. Barbarians. Happy 2 months. Oh, my Zen mode. I thought I had Zen mode turned on, but I guess not. Okay. Well, I know my opponent. No berserking. I'm gonna play just a normal Rafa game this time. And I don't know if I played a London yet today. This might be my first London of today. I gotta have at least one. This is my bread and butter opening. Yeah, so with b6 so soon, I was playing this move recently in some like Title Tuesdays. And I'll combine it with... And this is a sign that black wants to play knight e4. I'm actually wondering like if it makes sense to play h5. Maybe h5 as soon as possible. I had a very similar position recently against like some decently strong GM in Title Tuesday. And there's some idea to move the queen to g3. I mean, maybe I can start with queen g3. I think I should start with c3 though. Eventually I want to play queen g3. And this approach of like moving the h-pawn early and playing queen f3, it's a very modern type of approach in the London. And this really only works against certain move orders. But this early b6 move order is one of the lines where at least the engine will suggest the early h-pawn push. And yeah, now I'm inclined to take and then play queen g3, threatening to take on h6. If queen f6, there's some knight g4. We might see takes. And maybe bishop takes. That looks good. Opponent's moving pretty quickly, so I should keep pace. I don't want to overthink things. I don't think I'm going to win the tournament. I think I'm a little bit far behind. I did late join a few hours late. But maybe I'll finish top 100. The goal is just to play instructive chess. Teach something from every game. Oh, there's a big Scrabble tournament tomorrow. That actually sounds fun. I've been playing more Scrabble recently. I just play against a bot. Like if I can't sleep, I'll play not Hasty Bot, but the level below Hasty Bot. Shout out to Woogles. I was playing Scrabble, I think it was yesterday, and the bot played a 7-letter word, pawnage. Like P, like pawn, and then AGE. And I didn't realize that was even a word. Because there's this like term ownage, like getting owned. Or like PWN, like get pwned. Not sure how to pronounce it though. If there were Scrabble titles, would you try to get one? I think there are, right? Like Josh recently became a Scrabble master. But I think it's more based on percentile. It's a goal of mine to compete in an over-the-board Scrabble tournament. I mean, hopefully sometime within the next year, maybe I'll compete in some online tournaments too. Oh, pawnage. An act of pawning. Have I done some pawnage this game? There's been many acts of pawning. C.L. Smith says, my pawn age is young, but they're very mature for their age. What about my queenage? Oh no, my queenage. I want to take, but then f6 is actually really annoying. Because f6 not only defends g7, but attacks a pinned knight. I don't think I can get away with that. Another idea is to take here, which leads to craziness. It's actually a really crazy line. Wait, okay, let's draw some arrows. So knight f7. If anything takes back on f7, I win d6, and I think I'm happy. The issue is bishop takes f4, but then I have the intermediate knight h6, attacking the king, the pawn is pinned, and the bishop is pinned to the queen. So nothing can take the knight. King would have to move. Like king h8, I take. Yeah, then the knight's just misplaced. Don't think that works. Another idea is to take here. Actually a cool idea. If queen takes, I have knight d7. Knight d... there's bishop f4. I was thinking knight d7, bishop d6. Like, there's so many potential tactics here. I'm trying to figure out what can potentially work. I have another, like, really crazy idea of sacking a piece. Of actually going for this, allowing f6, and then just moving back. And then in the event of takes, bishop e7, h6. How does black defend? I mean, all of that might just be unnecessary. Everything looks so fun, though. It's like Disney World, but I have to choose a ride that doesn't hurt me. Bishop h6. There's also this move, too. I'm realizing I just have to rely on intuition. Another idea is to play bishop c4 and just develop like a normal person. And that might be what I choose. But then, no, then there's takes. Takes and then... Wait, takes here. I can safely take back, actually. Because take 6, I threaten mate. But there's bishop b4. Crazy lines here. I'm going to play bishop c4. I'm trying to set up this move, bishop h6. And intuitively, I think this is a fine move as well. It's developing, but yeah, this is a small issue. I think I just take back. I'm inclined to take this way. It does expose the king a little bit. But I don't think this move is too powerful. Because king f1. That's a move. But now I take. Black played this so quickly, but there's no way this can be good. I think I just take. Ah, there's bishop takes and queen takes. I gotta move quicker. It takes. Okay, in the event of bishop takes and queen takes, I play this. I think it's okay. There are variations where I lose a pawn. I'm currently up a pawn, but black wins back this pawn and then maybe this pawn. But I think I'm going to have a lot of attack. I can't take the queen because then both bishops hang, so I have to play this. Expecting this or this. If queen here, I bong cloud. And then I have to get the rook into play. Okay, that move I wasn't expecting as much because now I have castling. Now the king's completely safe and I have some attack. But I am down the pawn, so. Sharp game so far. I'd love to see this move to have bishop e5. It's nice having the pawn ready to come to h6. I think rook c1. I just have to move a lot quicker. I mean, the goal is to remove the knight and play bishop e5. If queen f5, I'd probably play bishop e2. That move I did not consider. This move. I really want to play this. King h7. I think I'll start with this. This move opens up some different ideas. I mean, first of all, it's a pawn, so bishop d5 is actually a major blow to black's whole position, because this is a threat and this is a threat.
Good luck, Eric Him Rosen. Let's go.
Oh, thank you, Mavzer. Welcome back. I think I'm in good shape now. Very tense position, though. A lot of tricky lines to figure out there. And black can still survive. Okay, never mind. I think it's possible my opponent just didn't realize the queen also targeted e4. I think queen d7. I guess if queen d7, I'd play queen e4 and hit this. So now I'm up queen for a knight. Plenty of time. I'll bring the rook in. Queen wants to infiltrate, as well as the rook. No mercy. Okay, I should analyze this. Because I'm not sure, like, this was a critical moment after queen c7. And it's a position I should really know what to do because it's such a common type of situation. Engine says bishop h6. Although at higher depth, okay, still bishop h6. So how does this work? Rook h4. That's not easy to spot. And if takes, bishop g7. Wow. Rook g4 coming. That's crazy. Rook f7. Now here bishop c4. Yeah, it's kind of a computer line. You want to see after king h6. Was that later in the game? I'm not sure when that was possible. I'm curious about the opening. Queen g3 immediately is strong. And if queen c7, what if knight e8? Takes and then here? Wow, h6 coming. Line where I took on f7 with a knight. Oh, it's like, what line was that though? I'm already forgetting. Oh, is this line? Oh, I was calculating this. Yeah, this doesn't quite work. Because after bishop f4, knight h6, king h7. Oh, not king h7, but king h8. And then, yeah, the knight's just a bit misplaced. It looks cool at first, but white just runs out of steam. Okay. I'm re-enabling Zen mode. Zen mode should be back on now.
I appreciate you. Keep doing what you do.
Oh, I appreciate you too. Thank you, No Soy Chorizo. Subbing with Prime for 6 months. Yeah, friendly reminder, if you want to be appreciated even more, you can sub with Prime, if you have Prime. Easy way to support the channel. You just have to link your Amazon Prime account and look for the free sub button. Let's berserk. And let's play maybe a different opening. Idea to... Actually, let's play Budapest. Idea to be aggressive. I could be playing a stronger opponent here. This could be really risky. I'm actually playing into a funny gambit that I had recently. If takes, I play queen d4, attacking almost all the things. Yeah, this could get wild very quickly. I had this position once in an over-the-board game. I'll have to dig up that game. It might be like in my shoebox of old score sheets. But I remember getting this exact position after knight takes e5. I played queen d4, and then my opponent defended everything with knight d3. And it was a funny position. I think in that game I took on f2, ended up winning. I went through a brief phase of playing the Budapest OTB around when I was like 2100. So back in like 2008, 2009. White's taking time here. There's not too many options. Like, there's bishop takes, there's knight takes, there's bishop g3. Bishop g3, I'd probably play d5. Oh, wow. There's h3. So I could take on f2. I don't know the strength of my opponent. I don't think h3 is a good move, though. Okay, I have this move. It's important to defend the bishop and defend my king. So the rook still attacks. And if takes, then I'm hitting the knight twice. On top of that, the dark squares could be very weak. Oh, you witnessed a smothered OTB mate. Oh, in the Budapest. Yeah, there's a classic smothered mate Budapest trap. Speaking of checkmates, I feel really close to mating here. It takes more work, though. I'll play this move. Preventing knight e4. Also preparing this. Check. Oh, there's a funny line. It's gonna happen, though. I gotta castle first. There's a really funny line, though. Oh, my bishop! Oh, no! Someone call an ambulance. Oh, wait. The knight can take. Uh-oh. Someone actually call an ambulance. And then take. Oops. I just left too many things hanging. My opponent's probably busy calling an ambulance. Oh. But not for me. That's so unsatisfying, though. Oh. I wanted to end the game with this and then a funny smother mate. The fork checkmate. Also, if knight takes, I have this checkmate. So there's a few mating ideas here. It's actually kind of cool. I'm not sure if there's a defense for white. Maybe like e3 or e4 is the best move. And it's funny because like the classic Budapest trap line features a very similar idea and in a bit more simplified position. But it's essentially the same thing. Take the bishop and then smother mate. I'll show it real quick. I assume that's what Teotihuacan was referring to. I showed this once in the St. Louis Chess Club lecture. Like knight f3, what is it? Knight c6, bishop here, bishop check, knight d2. And in this position, you take the pawn and you say, oh no, my bishop. and then you smother mate. Anyway, queen h4, not mate. Oh, queen h4 mate next move. Queen g3 mate. Okay, I think we'll end it with that one. That was a nice finish. I forgot to guess my opponent's rating. My opponent was 2418. I would have guessed sub 2000 there. My opponent that was the highest rated opponent I played this tournament. And I think that was my shortest game this tournament. They resigned after 14 moves. Oh, okay. We'll end it with that. I'm kind of tired. It's time for food. Assuming this whole video goes on YouTube, shout out to everyone watching in the future on YouTube. Big thanks if you made it all the way through the video. Let me know your favorite game. Let me know what you learned in the comments. Feel free to leave timestamps of your favorite moments. And be sure to watch on Twitch. Subscribe on Twitch. And stay tuned for more content. And say hi to Twitch chat too. Yeah. Twitch chat says hi YouTube.